Episode 147, Where to Start When Creating a PR Strategy.
Welcome to the PR Playbook Podcast, the only podcast giving you actionable skills and advice you need to execute a strategic PR program. Warning: what you hear next may lead to brand awareness and increased sales and customer exposure. Now here's your host, Rinjini Joshua.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 147. It's me, Ranjini, and I am going to talk about where to start when creating a PR strategy. We are coming around that time. It's getting closer to the end of the year, and people are starting their budgets for 2024. They're starting their planning, and right now is really the time to do that. So I encourage you, if you haven't started, to start thinking about PR strategy that ends out the year and starts the new year, because this is a great way to kind of position yourself for the new year. So a few things to just keep in mind. And I think what happens is when we talk to clients, they don't really know where to start. So the first thing I encourage people to think about is, what do you want to accomplish in the new year? Whether it's business development goals, sales goals, visibility goals, whatever that is, put them all in one spot and kind of know what your focus will be. If it's expanding in a certain market, if it's becoming well known so that your customers can make better decisions or easier decisions, if it's becoming a thought leader in the market, that's another option. So these are all different things that you need to think about as far as goals when you're creating a PR strategy that is going to have some kind of longevity. So recently we did a reassessment of a client, and I like to give examples because it's always best. And we started with one idea. And when we started, we realized that actually whatever we're doing right now, maybe not working. There's some other groundwork to be laid so that this campaign can be more effective. So we reassessed it. And the second thing that we did was a competitive landscape check. So take the top 2 to 3 competitors and do a competitive landscape. Find out what their messaging looks like. And then what I like to do, of course, from the media perspective, is I find out what their media looks like. So what kind of media coverage are they getting? Where are they getting it? And what kind of press releases are they putting out? What kind of news are they putting out? What kind of partnerships are they announcing? Getting an idea on their landscape, on what's going on and with other competitors, is really the best way to kind of identify what kind of position that you need to take, what kind of ground you need to break, and what's already getting traction and what isn't. Because it could be that your messaging is a little off. Maybe your message is diluted. Maybe it's not clear enough. Maybe you're not being specific enough. If you want to go head to head, or if you're already going head to head with certain competitors, who are they? What are they saying? What are the keywords that they're using? Keywords, I know, is typically an SEO Google search thing, but that is really the same principle that guides public relations strategy, because those people are Googling, let's say, whatever keyword you have, they're Googling that keyword, and then they're going to find articles and they're going to find whatever lives on the internet. And part of that will be PR. Part of that will be contributed content. Part of that will be press releases. So keywords play a very vital and important role in public relations. And I think that's often what happens. I think the next podcast, we have an interview with someone to talk about strategic integrated communications, is integrating the aspects of marketing, sales, advertising into all the communications platform, because they do really marry together really nicely. And if you have insight on all these different areas, then you're going to have a better PR campaign altogether. So do a competitive audit. See what your competitors are doing in the media landscape. What are they talking about? What are they saying? How are they differentiating themselves? What kind of press releases are they putting out? How can you compete with them when it comes to media, right? So that's one of the anchors of this PR communications program. You can either want to resemble them or want to stand out from them. And then last but not least, actually the most important, is evaluate what's going to move the needle for you in the most critical ways. So now you've seen what everyone else is doing. In that recent competitive audit that we did as a team, we realized no one is dominating the space. No one's actually a leader. Everyone's kind of saying a little bit of something, but no one's taking control of the market and driving it forward. So now it's building that narrative. What's going to take control of the market and drive it forward? And if you already have a very noisy landscape, then how are you going to insert a critical conversation? Usually it has to do with problem solution into your industry with the content you create, whether that's blogs, articles, if you're pitching media interviews and podcasts. Like, what are those things, either unspoken or spoken challenges that people need to know about, that your customers, your audiences need to know about? And how are you going to effectively overcome those challenges with what you present in the PR realm? And that can help you plan out your PR timeline of announcements. Also, we'll do another podcast again on creating a PR timeline, but making sure that you incorporate events, any hard events that you always attend, things that are critical to your business. Another thing that we brought up in this recent audit was that sometimes it's not your industry events that are most critical, but the vertical industry events that will be most critical for you to speak at or to be at, because you're going to be a big fish in a smaller pond than you would if you went to an industry event and being a small fish in a big pond. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your events out. I've often had to do the same thing for myself. I'm like, okay, well, actually, I serve these industries. So I should go to the industry events, not the PR events. That's not going to help me. I'm not looking for people to hire right now. I'm looking for clients to serve. And so I need to go where the clients are. So remember that when you're building these different strategies, what do the clients need? What do they want? What do they expect? What are your competitors doing? How can you stand out from them? I hope this is like kind of a good place for you to get started in this thought process. So the homework from this is, what goals do you need to accomplish? What does your competitive landscape look like? And then what do you feel the best PR tactics would be to stand out over the next 3 to 6 months? All right. Good luck, and I will talk to you next time.